I took no notes, so I was just I was just an raptor the whole time. Oh boy. Hello everybody, I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Euphoria, Season 2, Episode 5.
Stand still like the hummingbird.
Do we know what these titles are? They're very poetic.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're song lyrics or poetry or... I don't know where to start with this one.
Well, Zendaya is gunning for another Emmy.
She was a beast. This was Rue. This was the continuing saga of Rue's downward spiral. I would say that it's both downward and spiraled as much as it can be, but there's 3 episodes left.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like next week is not going to really be about this. It's going to be about
the rest of the cast.
Fallout, but I mean, she has been promised to be sold into slavery, and she does not have the drugs or the money. So
we have we just start with her. They're mid-fight, I think. Well,
her mom is confronting her.
Leslie's confronting Rue. Yeah. And we have poor Gia. I made a comment earlier that Gia's a bummer, and she's not. I love Gia. She's sweet. She doesn't deserve any of this, and she knows that. And I thought that scene really did a lot, really said a lot, really did a lot when they were driving around looking for Rue later, and Gia was on her phone, and the mother Leslie was like, "Could you help look?" And she just glares at her mother because she's already done so much. And this is her life too that is being completely
also they upended. Are just aimlessly driving around in the night looking for Rue, who escaped the car, which that put child locks on in the backseat for something like this.
So yeah, when I said that Gia was a bummer, Gia's not the bummer. Right. She bums out my teen sex, drugs, rock and roll story.
Sure.
However, it turns out that if that's the story you're telling, it'll eventually bum itself out. There was a talk, there was controversy, I don't know, about people were mad because Euphoria was glamorizing drugs. And I was like, if that's your takeaway, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Like, you're not watching.
If you think this is the, like, sexy side of drug use, I don't really know what to tell you. This is, like, legit terrifying. She is, first of all, could have broken multiple bones at any point.
I'm not sure she didn't.
Well, she might have, but like also almost hit by like dozens of cars, almost got sold into sex slavery. I mean, every single thing.
This was a fantastic episode. Yeah. It was, I think, a necessary.
I'll never watch it again.
Really?
No.
I think it was a necessary episode because of said glamorization of drugs and all that. And it's interesting. There's a minimum of 2. I'd have to think more to break this theory down. But I was going to say there's 2 stories happening on Euphoria. There's Rue and then there's everyone else. Yeah. I am a little bit more interested in everyone else. However, I'm not interested in Rue. And this kind of re-earned my interest or re-piqued my interest because I was getting tired of watching her just gradually decline.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the gradualness of it. Like, having this is like such a sharp downward spiral, like to the point where even Fez was like, get out of my house.
So the plot is, the recap part of this is that Rue's mother, with the help of Jules and Elliot, finds out that Rue is using again. They confiscate the suitcase. They apparently dump all of the stuff, which, as you recall, that Rue was using that. Yeah. In more ways than one. They try to take, or Leslie tries to take Rue to the ER/rehab. Rue freaks out and spends the remaining, like, it's not like a full 24 hours, but she basically is out all night just running around getting into trouble. She goes to Lexi and Cassie's, what are their names?
Oh boy, their last name, Howard.
She seeks asylum at the Howard household. Drops a few grenades.
Oh,
we'll get it.
We'll get there.
She goes to Fez's. He kicks her out, and she ends up at
Laurie,
the drug dealers. So, anyways, that's sort of the progression. But
and then she ends up escaping, and I think she does go back home. So, okay. We have made comments about how Alana Ubach's character, Suze, is a bad mother. I maintain that, but she's got the instincts on her, and she literally was like talking to Rue, and Rue was like, "Can I just please use your bathroom?" And she's like, "Sure." And she walked away, and she goes, "She's not doing good." And then presumably immediately called Leslie and was like, "Get your girl."
Everyone knew that mom.
Yeah.
The cool mom. I think Alana is so good, and I do love her weird presence because she's sort of like a Carabuono on Stranger Things, where we're constantly checking in on her.
Yeah.
But I loved that scene. I love the girls. I wish we were getting a little bit more of the rest of the cast of the girls. I read the Twitter Euphoria discourse is unhinged.
It's
People are doing too much. But
I'm going to throw a bomb in a minute.
Apparently, Barbie Ferreira and Sam Levinson did you read about that?
I read a little.
Then you might know more than me. Apparently, they had a incident on set and Barbie left and has not.
That I don't know.
Okay, what did you?
She's been getting a lot of well-meaning comments about her body and how it's brave for her to
Apparently, she didn't agree with the angle Sam was trying to take, and it resulted in her walking off set. Oh, so that's why she's and she didn't go to the premiere.
In and out. Oh.
She's been doing her obligatory, her contractual.
Yeah.
But we don't know what happened or if it has been fixed or is fixable.
Interesting. Okay.
But I think that's why Kat sort of
faded into the background because she was my favorite in season 1. I loved all of the episode that was about Kat, and then her whole evolution was my favorite.
She has the dynamic between this group of girls in particular, all of the kids with the group of girls, is really interesting, and as evidenced by because Rue shows up, Lexi knows the deal because and to clarify, we both watched season 1. We didn't rewatch it, so I don't remember everything. But we got kind of red for
just the ones.
No, but I think she used to borrow urine from Lexi or something in season 1. So Lexi very much knew what was up.
Yeah.
And
also, I think Lexi is a little more intuitive than we necessarily give her credit for.
And I also think Suze was giving her a test.
Oh, for sure.
Not actually just sort of
just word vomiting.
Not checking in on her. I think she was and fail, and fail, and fail.
It's taking a driver's test.
And then, so Rue goes to the bathroom, tries to steal drugs, stole rings. Did she steal the rings?
She took them. I don't know how far she got with them, but she did take them.
Because I imagine that would come up.
Okay, here's the thing, though. I don't think anyone in the Howard house has real jewelry.
I mean, well, I imagine it might come up. Because otherwise she would have just stolen the jewelry from the randos.
She did?
Yeah, she would have just stolen
okay. I see.
To include that
I see, okay.
plot point. And then Rue lobs a grenade on...
Poor Cassie.
She was trying so hard. It was so cute. It was so
earnest.
Yeah.
And sweet. It's absolutely something that would come out of the mouth of someone who's never been addicted to anything.
Because Rue was I can't go back to rehab. I can't do this for the rest of my life. And Cassie's you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. You just have to take it one day at a time.
So sweet. So sweet.
And Rue went real, well, you fucked the meter reader.
She did, yeah. It did go there.
Which, I mean, fucking Maddie took the fucking bait, too. I was because that's all Rue was just trying to create more chaos.
Chaos so that she could escape.
Yeah.
She did.
And look, Maddie has every right to be angry at her friend about this.
Does she?
I do, because I was also Team Jackie on Yellow Jackets. I think she has every right to be angry about it. I think that this was not the time. And I think, although this performance from Alexa, her literally, you could see her losing herself to the rage and then talking her soul back into her body.
Yeah.
She was,
yeah.
And I was Kat, restrain her. I was
Kat just kept trying to talk to her, and I was
and And I was
Kat,
like,
no.
Bear hug her. Carry her out of there.
She's so tiny. You can do it. Okay, I think she has a right to be
angry.
A little pissed, but they were broken up, and Maddie is such an agent of chaos on her own anyway. I don't know how anybody is friends with her. Like, I don't like Maddie.
No.
I think that Alexa is doing a great job. I don't like Maddie, and I don't understand the people who are defending her to their last breath. She is a bad person. I don't get it. It seems so obvious to me.
It just, like, for me, because some people are like, why isn't she mad at Nate? And I'm like, we'll get there.
Oh, I'm sure we will get there. We have but scratched the surface on the depths of Maddie's anger.
But I'm saying the friendship betrayal, that Maddie and Cassie are the Tweedledee Tweedledum of this world, of this universe. And, I mean, Maddie had properly peed on Nate.
Of course.
Like, there was no, this isn't like a passing, but
of course. And like positioning it in high school.
But I mean, I agree with you.
Specific thing, but also Maddie and Nate were not in a relationship to the point that like Maddie still has blackmail material on Nate's entire family. She could blow up his entire family, and it looks as though she's going to next week. And so that's the type of thing where I'm like, and also, this has been eating Cassie up for weeks.
No, I agree with you, because if the tables were turned, Cassie would be, like, moody. Like, she would be, like, the silent
But
treatment.
Maddie is ready to rip the weave right out of her head. And I'm just like, I don't...
My point was, it was funny in this moment.
Yes, it was.
And Sue, she is a real one, because we did forget that she was Johnny on the spot last week, getting Cassie out of that hot tub.
Yeah.
So she's played this game.
Yeah.
She's seen this movie. Rue got away again. Went to Fez.
Tried to steal medication from
his
grandma. And Fez was like, absolutely not.
So sexy. He bros down when he was like, gotta go.
Because I thought for sure
you crossed.
I thought for sure he was gonna call Lexi and be like, "Hey,"
because we established this thing between them, but we haven't really gotten much. We didn't touch on Rue absolutely unhinging her jaw and like swallowing Jules whole. Yeah. Hunter, oh, she was so pretty.
She's so good. She's so good. They're all good. All these kids are so good.
And I was afraid I wasn't gonna have a lot to say, and spoiler, we find a way. But I was just sort of basking in this.
Oh, I said she was gunning for her next Emmy. I meant it. Also, I think Elliot, I feel like almost the saddest for Elliot because he was
I like him so much. He's not, people fucking hate him. And I like Elliot.
He just was like, I shouldn't have said anything. It wasn't my place. And he felt so sad, and Jules left without him and Rue left without him. And he was just like standing smoking on the corner. And I just like,
well, because Leslie didn't say anything to him, but she did make a comment to Jules where she was like, I'm sorry.
Okay,
you don't like, I don't know. I kind of want an episode about Leslie. I remember that she had a little bit of that is her name, correct? I'm not.
No, I think it's Leslie. Although now I can't find her either.
I remember she had a little bit of material in season 1 because she was weirdly dating Nat Faxton in like one episode.
Oh, okay.
Because Rue went in on her too, where Rue was like, "You're a bad mother, and this is because Dad died and all that." And she just doesn't have
she's
not
evidence to
tuned
back that
in
up.
necessarily, but I don't get that vibe from her.
Bad mom vibe?
Yeah.
I don't get bad mom vibe either. I think I get mom that doesn't know how to deal with her addicted daughter vibe.
Because I was gonna say I only get, I don't know, because I was like, I don't even really get, I mean, Suze has a lot of questionable, but I don't even quite, well, regardless.
I mean, she lets them drink, but it's like, I don't know. There's also something that really hurts my feelings every time they bring Bruce Wexler back as Rue's dad. It's like very sad.
if you watched our coverage last week, Rue survived. We kind of thought that maybe she had shuffled off this mortal coil.
And we also got a season 3 renewal in the in-between time. So,
and that was Labyrinth. I'm familiar with him in concept only. I didn't know what he looked like. Yeah, I didn't know,
but cool. Thank you, everybody that told us. That was nice.
I knew he did the music, but so Fez kicked her out, and she went on this Looney Tunes car chase, or like chase with the police.
Yeah.
It was so it
was like Funhouse Mirror Ferris Bueller.
When they went in, and this was such a menace. I'm like, I have sympathy for the cops. I'm like, these poor cops don't deserve this when they go into the fucking cactus. I don't know how people weren't like, because Rue had some scratches on her later, but I don't know how she wasn't like half porcupine.
Like impaled on it. Well, so I don't think she hit the actual cactuses.
She went thud.
But she went into the like the spiny bush. Like I thought she was going to be impaled on the spiny bush.
Because those things do get
like an agave plant. This looks like
it can happen. It was ridiculous. There was dogs. She robbed those people.
Yeah.
She stole.
That was hilarious though when the husband was like,
and there was I guess a noteworthy. Because, I mean, when you watch shows like this, everything that you see, everything that happens is for a reason. There was what I found to be a very deliberate moment where she comes face to face to the highway and she just says this little prayer like, don't let me die, when all she keeps talking about is how she wants to die.
Yeah. Like she was planning to be dead within a month. She just has this idea of laying in the sand and letting the water take her.
And that moment betrayed her bullshit.
Yeah.
And I was kind of taken by that. And then she winds up at Laurie's house. That woman is terrifying, right?
I just want huge props to Martha Kelly. She is bonkers, and I love every minute of it.
Because she was assessing that situation the whole time.
Oh, 100%.
She was on the whole, because at first I was like, because Rachel was like, why would you ever go here? And I was like, throw yourself on the mercy of the court. I was like, it's not a foolproof strategy, but it's a strategy. And she was being so cool at first that I was like, well, then maybe because Rue was like upfront about this, she'll like yada yada. And then Rue notices the bird in the cage. And then the padlocked door.
Well, the padlocked door is where the drugs are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where the drug suitcase. I mean, there was more than one padlocked door, so it's possible there's women behind some of those doors.
That's the vibe I got. Yeah. And then she starts sort of like, the bad thing about drugs, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
And which is what I wish that they could make that clearer and like don't do drugs instead of like trying to like be cool hip hop like DA like the dare and the like marijuana's bad. Like
marijuana is indeed not a gateway drug, and abstinence does not work. So the way that we are taught about drugs and alcohol and sex is totally incorrect and inappropriate. If they told you it will literally turn your brain to mush like a person with a like that has, it will break
your brain. She was like, because
Laurie,
holy cow, I got Leslie.
Well, Laurie, Lexi, Leslie.
Laurie was like the parts of your brain that make those chemicals die.
Yeah.
And you can never be happy again.
Then you can't make your own chemicals. And that's the whole point.
Terrifying. Yeah. And then she's like, and this is the moment I got real scared. She was like, but the good news is the bad stuff's not so scary anymore either. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I got claustrophobic. Like it was
in the house.
Yeah.
It
was worse than that Running Scared movie with Paul Walker.
I think you're right. It's the same with opiates, where it turns off your ability to like regulate your own pain. And so then the withdrawal from opiates is worse than the pain you were experiencing before you took the opiate.
No, I get that, but I'm saying the moment where I was like, oh, she's in the lion's den.
Yeah.
And that's the moment where I was like, oh, and it's fascinating to me because you hear about like growing up, we're raised about like, men in windowless vans and like people kidnapping you and stuff. And it's like, while yes, that does happen, this stuff is so much more insidious. It's so much more gradual.
Sometimes it's women.
It's so like you're like, I think when they talk about sex slavery, they think that people are being like pulled off the street. And again, it's like, I mean, that has happened.
But it's more often, it's like girls.
That weird house in your neighborhood. Like,
and it's also girls that just like don't have any other options that are easy to take away from their friends and family, or they don't have friends and family. And like, that's how it happens.
And so when she's taking Rue's clothes off, giving her the morphine, I was like, I genuinely didn't. So at the moment I was like, okay, well, Fez would have an idea that she would be there.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe that was what this plot they were putting into motion with Mouse. And I was like, maybe this is going to culminate in some.
Interesting. Somebody last week said that they thought that Faye was Mouse's girlfriend. But
I don't remember, because I thought the guy with the broken nose was Mouse.
No, I don't remember his name, but that's Faye's boyfriend, as far as I know, because he was like, when he was shoving her in the vent, he was like, I love you, baby, but like, you gotta hide or whatever. So that's who I think is her boyfriend. But regardless, you could be right. That would be interesting. I don't really know.
Well, she got out.
She did
somehow. That's the only part of the episode that felt sloppy to me.
Well, I think that Laurie
No, she'll come back.
Well, no, I think Laurie underestimated how many drugs Rue's been doing, and so didn't dose her with enough morphine, because it was still night and everyone in the house was sleeping when Rue woke up and escaped. So to me, it wasn't sloppy, but the guy did wake up. Laurie's husband or whatever, I guess.
Paramour.
A guy.
We've seen him. We've seen him. All of them.
But yeah, that's the only, I'm not 100% sure about that, but she was able to escape out the bathroom window. And I then again thought for sure she was going to break a limb, and she did not.
Well, I was I want to be like, what did you learn? Because I'm afraid it was nothing. I really, because I would have gone straight to, well, so I was almost kind of relieved when she was at Laurie's house, because I was like, well, at least Gia's going to be okay. Because I'm like, if she's in rehab,
well,
I was like, that puts Leslie and Gia in trouble.
I mean, they don't, well, I also don't think $10,000 is enough to be sold into sex slavery, so that doesn't feel like if she had taken the 50,000 suitcase, then I still don't think you should be, but I feel like Laurie's got.
You're like, that's fair.
That's fair. But I feel like Laurie's got some weird limits where it's like $10,000, I immediately sell you into sex slavery.
Maybe it's like indentured. Just, I don't know. This is getting dodgy.
Ugh.
So I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I just feel like $10,000, you could like sort of readily pay that back more readily than 50,000.
Well, because the number that Laurie said was something that she was like, so $8,000. When are you going to get me the rest of it? Yeah. I'm like, that's feasible.
Yeah, like, $8,000 to me. That's
no, like she had like that was worth 8,000, so it was 3,000 more.
Oh, 2,000 more. I don't think she had $8,000 worth of shit. But
that was a lot of hundreds.
She said it was $2,000 cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I'm not pawning the jewelry.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, yeah, it was a good episode. I don't know what all this like addiction, interpersonal, family trauma and stuff is doing in my penis show. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm here for a very clear purpose.
I just like, I like the, because it's interesting, but it's not 100%. It doesn't
That was
feel.
a joke. I love it.
Huh?
I said that was a joke. I loved.
No, yeah. But at the same time, it feels like it went many steps farther than the show I signed on for.
That was your bad. Because I was a little relieved that we finally acknowledged the stakes.
Okay, I do feel that way also. I feel that way also.
Because they threatened it, but the show was really not. I mean,
in that case, I have like tonal inconsistencies, because it's like, this was such a deep, dark episode. And I know that there have been dark episodes before. I'm not arguing that. But then next week, it looks like we're just diving right back into the high school drama. And it's like, those are two different
They're presented in a similar lens. I've been okay with it.
True. That's
I've been okay with it.
I'm not okay with it. It just is something I'm noting. Because like this episode was extremely hard to watch in a way that like last week's was hard to watch.
Oh, I was
but
nauseated.
in a different way. Yeah.
So, did we have anything else that we wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that was mostly it. Oh, Zendaya and Tom Holland bought a house together in London.
There was no Faye. And also, I'm getting worried. I'm getting worried about several plot lines that I don't know that because we have Lexi's entire play.
Yeah.
I miss Bobby. You can't give me a queen like that.
Yeah.
And then not. And I'm sort of like, so is this what you mean? Where you think Lexi's play and this aren't on the same?
So like on the one side of the scale, we have like Rue's descent into total obliteration, and she is pulling Jules and Leslie and Gia, everybody with her, and then somewhere in the middle is all
Nate and Maddie.
The Nate and Maddie and Cassie stuff, and Cal, that goes in the middle, and then on the way other end of it is Lexi and Kat and Ethan, and like that's just like it's like this, like lightness wise.
So I don't want this because I ended up really liking Cal, but part of me I was gonna say part of me is like I wouldn't be surprised if we never saw him again.
Oh,
but then that made me think of the Trixie and Katya thing, where Trixie just apropos of nothing was like, I wouldn't be surprised if we never saw Denise Richards again.
It's just in the world ever.
And that's what made me laugh. But I don't want that. I apparently we're out there are dozens of us Cal sympathizers.
Cal. I also, though, the video is still out there, so Cal has to come back at some point. And I feel like Maddie is gonna go nuclear with that tape. I think she's gonna do it.
Is this a prequel to Assassination Nation?
Sure. Except for the other way.
No, but yeah. So, okay, I think that's that.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week if we know one thing.
3 left.